about that.
Yes.
All right. This is Mr. Eric Partee. You're going to hear all about him. Whereas the Little Miami Conservancy, formerly known as Little Miami Inc., was founded in 1967 as a nonprofit organization dedicated to the restoration and protection of the Little Miami National Wild and Scenic River. And whereas Eric Partee has served as the executive director of the Little Miami Conservancy for the past 40 years. And whereas under Eric's direction, the Little Miami Conservancy and its partners have been a leading steward of the river, restoring 57% of the riverbanks through land conservation and restoration. And whereas Eric successfully negotiated conservation plans with 95% of the developers that have come into the river corridor and led hundreds of clean sweeps, preserving the Little Miami National Wild and Scenic River for all to enjoy. And whereas, thanks to Eric's ability to work with riverfront landowners, developers, and local officials, over 110 nature preserves have been established and 50,000 trees and 200 acres of native prairies have been planted along the Little Miami National Wild and Scenic River and its tributaries. And whereas Eric has shared his passion for preserving of the river with thousands of kids through educational programs and fishing clinics about river ecosystems, local wildlife, and conservation. Now, therefore, I, Kathy Bailey, by the power vested in me as mayor of the city of Loveland, and on behalf of our city council and residents, do hereby proclaim February 8th, 2022 as Eric Partee Day in the city of Loveland, Ohio, and urge all citizens to wish Eric the best in his retirement and remember his hard work and dedication that returned the Little Miami National Wild and Scenic River to its natural beauty.
Thank you. You're very kind. You know, 40 years is a long time. I heard the gasps when they said 40 years. I heard all this, and but I had the privilege and the honor to work with the leadership here in Loveland and 11 other municipalities that have river frontage on the Little Miami, and each one of those 11 are jealous of the city of Loveland. Because they have such a beautiful, beautiful natural setting. They have a nationally recognized river, a nationally recognized bike trail, both of which we were pleased and honored to play a leadership role back in the days when there was some rails running through town, and there was a brand new concept called Rails to Trails, and we went to Washington and raised a couple $1 million to make it all happen, and I think all for the better. But, back when I started, just not to belabor, but back when I started, there were dead fish floating down in Little Miami. Some of you remember that on a hot summer day, and the flows were low, and there they were. It took a lot of effort and a lot of cooperation and a lot of leadership by the many councils here in Loveland, the many city managers, Dave and his predecessors, and all the staff here to make it happen. And the work goes on. As I say, the beat goes on. There's still many people that love this river, and that's what made it all happen, and we'll continue to keep it that way. So Mayor, thank you very much. Council, Dave, thank you very much for this. It's very much appreciated, and I'll be around. Thanks.